Since returning from injury, Zach Edey has been the best player on the Grizzlies. On top of that, he's impacting winning in a big way. Obviously, a small sample size, however, in his 141 minutes of action, the Grizzlies have won his minutes by 80 points. They also are producing a top offensive and defensive rating when he's on the court. In his last game, he had 21 points, 15 rebounds, 2 blocks. They won that game by 5 points. Yet, Zach Edey was a game-high plus 39. This game perfectly showcased his impact. Obviously, he had the big numbers, but honestly, when he's on top of his game, his effect goes beyond the box score. First score of the game for them is exactly what I mean. He screened Jeremiah Fears out of this play, so now help is needed in the middle right away. Now a 3 is created just like that. Next time on offense, he just makes Derek Queen look like a little boy. First lefty hook doesn't work, but he's right back with it. Zion is so used to bullying, carving out space, but with Edey helping, there is no sight on the basket. Now guess what? Jeremiah Fears has some fear of getting screened again, so rejecting it works to perfection. Look at the vertical spacing he provides. He catches the lob way above the basket. This right here is an underrated shot to have in the bag. So many times bigs will have space like this, but most of them can't float it up and make it consistently, so they have to challenge the rim protection. Having a trustable floater as a center is game-changing for an offense. The best example I can give you is Isaiah freaking Hartenstein. Look at him do his work early. Now he has offensive rebounding position before the shot goes up. It doesn't come right to him, but he stays active. With the volleyball spike, that leads to a bucket. He's averaging 3.5 offensive rebounds per game. The Grizzlies as a team, with him on the court, have a 33.3 offensive rebounding percentage. That's good for top 10. Meanwhile, when he's injured or resting on the bench when he's playing, the Grizzlies have the worst offensive percentage rebounding-wise in the entire league. 24.5 to be exact. He's just like Steven Adams. This screen creates tons of space for the ball handler, and Cam Spencer does the rest. Look at him on the defensive glass. When he boxes out, Derek Queen just disappears. 83 defensive rebounding percentage with him on the court, easily best in the league pace. Hornets currently lead the NBA as a team at 73.9%. The rebounding on both ends of the court is one of the main ingredients to them having so much success with Zach Edey on the floor. Jeremiah Fears gets destroyed again. So now the big is forced on the ball handler. Eventually a 3 is created. Another great screen, but an even better hard roll. Fears has to sink in. If he doesn't, you have a lob to Edey, but now you have a 3-point splash. Once again, all set up by the first screen. And just like we saw in the first half, Fears is anticipating the screen now, so the crossover works to perfection. The big then has to commit. Another hard roll from Edey, forcing Zion to sink in, or it's a lob. Guess what? Another 3-pointer created. This is a very rare sight, someone challenging him vertically. Why? Because it's nearly impossible. Also, shout out to Zach for staying as straight as possible, avoiding the foul. Usually players will just pass or this. Try to float it over him, and that's still a very tough shot that Memphis will live with every possession. Clearly, the Pelicans were sick of 3s being created off the pick and roll, so now they just switch. Well, here's a counter. Abuse the mismatch, and he just has such sweet touch for his size. This time, an amazing screen forces the switch. Look how close to the basket he is. You can't stop him if he's catching him there. This time, Missy is going to try him. A bad way off miss. Naturally, in transition, he has a mismatch, and what do you know? They feed him for 2. His teammate gets denied. No problem. He's there to gobble it up. More second chance points. In the pick and roll, he takes away the ball handler, Jose Alvarado, who has no interest in challenging him, but at the same time, he's denying the roll man with ease. He just takes up so much space. Last play, the Pelicans do something great. deny Jackson Jr. However, loose ball is recovered, and then just throw it up to Zach Edey. He's down there somewhere. That's just such a cheat code. His impact since coming back from injury is off the charts. And as you can tell, as we went over the film, it's nothing flashy. He's just doing an amazing job utilizing his size advantage. That's all I got. Leave your thoughts below. Have yourself a great day.